ਕਿਤੇ ਮਖੂ ਚਲੇ ਕੀਤੀ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਜੋ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖ ਬਾਜੀ ਹੁਣਾਂ ਨੇ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਲਿਖੇ ਹਨ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਅੱਜ ਪੜਾਂਗੇ ਜੀ। ਇਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਲੇਖ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ, ਇਸ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈ Spiritual Oasis in the Desert of Maya। ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਯੰਗਸਟਰਸ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ, ਅੱਜ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਜੀ। ਸੋ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਸਾਰੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ ਸੁਣਨਾ। ਇਹ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਖੁਦ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸੀ। Spiritual Oasis in the Desert of Maya. The profound mercy and grace of God is manifested in the existence of life-giving natural water springs and the associated greenery and the throbbing life amidst the otherwise burning sand dunes of deserts. These beautiful spots, called oases, provide to the caravan of travelers with rest, relief, and solace during their dreary road and gruesome journeys through the vast expanses of the barren, desolate, and burning desert. These deserts extend for thousands of miles where nothing but sand dunes are visible all around the horizon. These sand dunes change or shift from place to place with strong winds which carry the sand. Hence, there can be no demarcation in this vast expanse of desert, as footmarks or paths are immediately covered by the blowing sand. People travel over these signless deserts in caravans with the help of guides or by their own inherent instincts. During the day, the sandy expanse is heated by the scorching sun, making it a veritable vast oven. If one is lost in these desolate deserts, he suffers from the agonies of the scorching sun and would die of thirst and hunger. These deserts are so barren and desolate with scorching heat that no life can exist there. These deserts and oases belong to the earthly physical plane. These deserts and oases that have been described, they belong to the earthly physical plane. But they are symbolic of the inner deserts and oases on the subtle planes of our consciousness. Both are blessings of God for his children at different planes. The physical oases are needed to save human beings from the miseries of the hot sandy deserts and are only a transient relief and refuge. On the other hand, the spiritual oases are the effulgence and grace of divinity, pervading and engulfing the consciousness of awakened and enlightened souls. They are the eminent blessings of God to save humanity from the dreary, desolate, and burning desert of the elusive Maya. The human mind is unconsciously and incessantly weaving and shaping his own good or bad world within and around himself by his own thoughts and deeds. Every thought, good or bad, that emanates from the mind sends subtle vibrations all over the universe through electrons, which are registered in the infinite, perfect, universal computer of the ether. Thus, billions of thoughts emanating every moment from the minds of the whole universe are being registered and processed by the universal computer. In other words, the environment or circumstances of the world are conditioned by and dependent on the kind of our thoughts, conceptions, and faith. As you think, so you become. This world, good or bad, is the outcome of our own individual and collective thinking and faith. God created a heaven on earth for his children to live in and enjoy. But we, the prodigal sons, have turned into a hell-like, vicious rendezvous or a dry, dreary, desolate, burning desert with our wrong and depraved thoughts. These perverted thoughts and misconceptions have degenerated our moral values and social life as well. This explains the tense and vicious atmosphere and environment of selfishness, deceit, injustice, corruption, pride, envy, prejudice, avarice, hatred, aggrandizement, wickedness, sensuality, jealousy, unrest, strife, violence, cruelty, and wars that are prevailing all over the world. These vices have ignited various kinds of desires, greed, lust, anger, attachment, and ego in our consciousness. In our incessant efforts to satisfy and fulfill these fleeting egoistic and sensual desires, we are unconsciously adding more fuel to our self-ignited bonfires within, which makes our lives dry, dreary, unhappy, miserable, desolate, and hellish. We have developed and projected our tastes, fancies, desires, and luxuries to the extreme degree of refinement. These refined tastes and desires have become an obsession with us, and we have practically become slaves of the ghost of unending desires and ambitions. When we try to fulfill one desire, more desires crop up. Most of our attention, energy, time, and money is spent or wasted in the pursuit of these unnecessary, harmful, ever-increasing, unending, baser desires. Consequently, no time or money is left for us to pay any attention to a sublimer aspect of life. Hence, these desires drive us to extreme and desperate means for their fulfillment, where we lose all sense of morality, ethics, logic, reasoning, or discrimination between good or bad, fair or unfair, virtue or vice, just or unjust, legal or illegal. With such corrupt and polluted mentality, we are involved in all sorts of problems, controversies, quarrels, violence, enmity, which enhance our restlessness, miseries, unhappiness, frustration, to make our lives a veritable dry, dreary, barren, desolate, burning, agonizing desert or hell. God created such a joyful and blissful heaven on earth for his angelic children, but we human prodigal sons have turned away from and denied our divine Father, the God, and have come under the magical spell of the elusive Maya. We have therefore turned this celestial heaven on earth into a veritable dry, dreary, desolate, vicious, burning desert, devoid of any noble divine virtues such as kindness, compassion, peace, faith, devotion, love, joy, and bliss. Consequently, it is no wonder that we suffer from unhappiness, worries, frustration, miseries, and agonies of our own making. Our lopsided materialistic research and achievements have overshadowed and obscured the primal origin and the true science of the soul. We have developed and projected our intelligence to the extreme horizons of the cosmos, but have consciously or unconsciously ignored and denied our Father, the God, and his divinity. In other words, we are so charmed, absorbed, and lost in the science of the cosmos that we have no inclination, aptitude, or time to study the sublime science of the soul. The net result of our lopsided materialistic development has been mistrust, fear, hatred, unrest, strife, aggression, violence, cruelty, wars, devastation, miseries, which are prevailing all over the universe. Even so, at the moment, unrest, violence, hostilities, and wars are going on in Iran, Iraq, Lebanon, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, South Africa, Kampuchea, Central America, and so many other places. This means that our advancement into the science of the cosmos has been achieved at the cost of the science of the soul. Consequently, we are absorbed and lost in a materialistic pursuits of the cosmos, entirely forgetting or ignoring the original, true, blissful spiritual aspect of life. This materialistic involvement has transmuted our consciousness into a dry, desolate, and burning desert, and it is the basic cause of all of our unhappiness, misery, and agony. We have lost faith in the Creator God. This faithlessness or superfluous belief in divinity has degenerated and transformed humanity into prodigal sons and veritable slaves of the elusive Maya. This illusion of Maya brings with it a trail of baser instincts of ego, selfishness, lust, deceit, prejudice, envy, hatred, jealousy, anger, indignation, and whatnot, to make our lives so degenerated, unhappy, frustrated, vicious, miserable, dry, dreary, and desolate. Without this faith in divinity, humanity is amenable to the baneful influence of Maya and be seduced by its bewitching charm. Gradually, under the magical spell of the elusive Maya, we fail to understand, grasp, and believe in the authority of divine will, and unconsciously deprive ourselves of the benevolent and compassionate inflow of the divine joy, bliss, love, and grace into our consciousness. Thus we become arrogant, proud, profane, aggressive, selfish, malicious, and corrupt. Consequently, we human beings individually and collectively create conditions and environments around ourselves full of misunderstandings, misconceptions, fears, doubts, intolerance, hypocrisy, prejudice, jealousy, anger, indignation, malice, strife, enmity, revenge, and whatnot. These negative, depraved human instincts proliferate and spread all over the universe, making it a veritable hell. These invisible, vicious instincts are fires of different hues and in various intensities are innate in every subconscious mind. These latent, vicious fires go on smoldering within us and are easily ignited at the slightest exciting cause, and they erupt like a volcano, causing terrible devastation within and around us, resulting in untold sufferings, miseries, and their after effects. If we are ignorant or careless and complacent about our physical diseases, they become chronic and incurable. Similarly, we are so ignorant or unconscious of our vicious fires of the baser instincts that we just ignore or forget them to our own detriment. Consequently, these baser instincts permeate deeper and deeper into our consciousness and become incurable. They are even carried forward to our subsequent lives. It is ironic that though man has advanced into the extreme horizons of science of the cosmos, he has failed to dive deep enough into his own consciousness to search, understand, and identify the root cause of all human ills and miseries. Man has been so absorbed and lost in the research of cosmic science that he has no time or inclination for deeper, fundamental, innate science of the soul. The irony of all this human tragedy is that man is supposed to have been made in the image of God and is believed to be the king of all creation. And it is all the more painful and pitiable that man, the king of creatures, should fall prey to the illusion of Maya in spite of all the modern intellectual and scientific achievements, all the boastful modern civilization, all the profession and practice of various religions, a profusion of moral, ethical, and religious knowledge and philosophies, and pious efforts of numerous social and moral institutions and august bodies like the UNO or UNESCO. Therefore, with all this scientific achievements and modern civilization, man has failed to diagnose ills of his own subconscious mind. It seems so strange that although these fires of vicious instincts pervade the whole universe, yet none of us is prepared to admit it. We have become so used to these fires that we take them by the way or as a part of our life. We have been warned about these vicious fires by all the prophets, sages, and saints throughout the ages. Though we superficially profess to be followers of a prophet, but in reality we are all faithful slaves of these vicious instincts and have been suffering the resultant agonies and miseries of the desolate, burning desert of Maya, life after life. God's gift of intelligence and scientific knowledge is being abused and misused by man with impunity for the pollution and destruction of his Garden of Eden on earth. We, the so-called giants, the so-called intellectual giants and scientific wizards, are driving the hapless humanity into the headlong race towards the abyss of self-destruction and a veritable hell. We have had enough of intellectual and scientific universities and institutions which have not been able to discover the image of God in man or science of the soul within. It is so ironic that the human being with a modern civilization, precocious intelligence, high education, a sophisticated scientific knowledge, and a profuse religious knowledge should fall prey to the baneful, elusive Maya and unconsciously contribute towards converting the Garden of Eden on earth into a veritable dry, dreary, barren, desolate, burning desert. Thus, man has contributed to change this world into a desolate, burning desert where mistrust, doubt, hatred, fear, corruption, aggression, envy, avarice, wickedness, sensuality, jealousy, selfishness, unrest, strife, violence, cruelty, and wars prevail as a rule rather than exception. In fact, the human mind and consciousness is the repository of thoughts, feelings, emotions, beliefs, and faith, and their cumulative effect is reflected in the subconscious mind, which represents our character and personality, good or bad. In other words, man always carries within himself his own self-created desert or oasis in his consciousness wherever he goes and whatever he does. For a concrete example, let us consider anger, which is one of the many depraved instincts of the creation. When we get angry, our innate fire of egoistic consciousness is ignited, and we lose all sense of morality, ethics, reasoning, and justice, and we behave like brutes. We add fuel to this fire with our beastly behavior until it becomes a bonfire in which many people are involved with terrible results. This self-ignited bonfire of anger burns our physical and mental energies and virtues, and we become miserable, nervous wrecks. This is evident from the increasing nervous tension and mental disorders prevailing amongst the human species. It is the outcome of one bout of if the outcome of one bout of anger can be so devastating, the cumulative result of frequent bouts of anger can well be imagined. Similarly, insidious results of other human depraved instincts such as selfishness, greed, lust, desires, envy, jealousy, etc., can also be baneful and devastating, which contribute to make this world so dreadful. Since the human mind is the repository of many of those depraved instincts, we are always under the sway of one or more of these negative elements of miseries and destruction. Hence, our mind becomes a veritable bonfire, which we unconsciously feed with various kinds of fuels of our depraved instincts to make burning deserts of our lives. In other words, we create dreary, barren, desolate, burning deserts in our consciousness in which we are roasted day and night for the whole life until and unless we are able to find an oasis within our consciousness. Frequent indulgence in these depraved instincts make them insidious and develop into strong propensities and formidable habits which cannot be undone easily. Thus, they permeate and proliferate deep into our very being and become a part and parcel of our lives, and they make brutes of us. In other words, man, made in the image of God and supposed to live in and enjoy the Garden of Eden on earth, has unconsciously developed desolate, burning desert or veritable hell for himself, and is suffering from terrible miseries and tragedies of his own making. The crux of the matter is that these desolate, burning desires in our consciousness do not end with our death. They do not end with our death. When we die, we shed our physical bodies, and our soul carries forward the old instincts in our subconsciousness to the next birth. In fact, our depraved instincts are transformed from one boiling cauldron to another to make us suffer miseries and agonies life after life. It is a tragedy that human being made in the image of God should degenerate and involve himself in such miserable burning hell life after life simply because he was seduced by the glittering charm of Maya and lost faith in his creator and benefactor, the gracious loving God. In fact, this insidious, vicious fire of baser instincts of vices has been smoldering and developing in the atmosphere of the universe for quite a long time, which may blow up at any time to destroy the whole world. In other words, we are unconsciously and complacently sitting on the top of the smoldering volcano of our own making, which may erupt at any time with a bang more powerful than Hiroshima. Thus, an unending vicious circle of sufferings and agonies of smoldering bonfire in our consciousness is carried forward and continued from life to life. The only way to break this vicious circle of devastating fire of hell is to make an about turn or change our consciousness from the egoistic plane of forgetfulness or denial of divinity to the intuitional plane of faith in divine benevolence of peace, joy, bliss, and love. This crucial change in consciousness is only possible. This crucial change in consciousness is only possible with the help and guidance of the awakened, illuminated souls blessed by the Lord. The consciousness of such blessed souls is elevated, ignited, and illuminated with the divine grace and love, and it is filled with celestial virtues of kindness, compassion, joy, bliss, and love. This involves the transition of human consciousness from the physical and mental planes to the spiritual plane of intuition, i.e., divine intelligence and knowledge. This transition or transformation of souls works through intuitional infection and ignition of the aspiring soul with the sublime effulgent light emanating from awakened, enlightened, and blessed soul by the grace of God. This transition or transformation of souls works through the intuitional infection and ignition of the aspiring soul with the sublime effulgent light emanating from the awakened, enlightened, and blessed soul by the grace of God. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ 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 दास तेरे की बेनती, दास तेरे की बेनती, दास तेरे की बेनती, बेनती,
Guru
Oh,
ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ 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 ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੋਰੀ ਆਸੋਟ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੋਰੀ ਆਸੋਟ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੋਰੀ ਆਸੋਟ ਪ੍ਰਭ आनंद एक ओंकार सद्गुरु प्रसाद आनंद प्रिया निर्माए सतगुरु